Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we want to take the army of the #1 player in the world on the Legend leaderboard and take it not only into the Legend League on our own, but we want to use that strategy in the Clan War leagues as well. So let's get ready. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and let's take a look who's #1 and what army is he using. And this army is already out there for quite some time. It's a bit different, or actually, if I'm completely honest, it's completely different from all of the Yeti armies which I so far highlighted on this channel, because this army is using not only a few Yetis, it's only using 4 to 5 Yetis, but it's using bowlers as well. No P.E.K.K.A at all in this army composition, but the reason why so many top pushers are using it is that the power it has, just like to finish bases, is crazy. It's beyond crazy. This is the army composition which the guys are using. He's using witches as well. Those witches are getting used on the outside. And guys, if you want to take a look at on how to use this army composition, well, make sure to watch this video because I will explain everything on how to use this army. But if you guys want to see me learning this army even better, make sure to tune in today in the live stream from 6 to 8 p.m. CET. Make sure you get the time zone right, because after that, from 8 to 10, we're streaming once again in German. So if you guys want to catch the English live stream, make sure to join today in, well, I guess after the video got uploaded in about 1 to 2 hours. And yeah, I hope I'll see you guys in the live stream. But let's check out this first attack, because this is going to be on this really strange looking base. We decided to go with this army. I decided to not bring any war breakers, but except that it's basically the same army. We're using 3 witches for the outside, we're using a couple of bowlers, we're using the Yeti, we're using the healers, the wizards for cleanup, and then the loons. And the loons are a key for this army composition. I will explain you guys everything, but first off, let's start with the Warden Walk. It's always the same. Sometimes you can use the Queen as well. That's pretty useful as well. But most of the time you want to use the Warden Walk because that's so simple. Most of the time you do not have too much time issues. And with this army composition, you have 4 rages, which means you can easily use 1 rage into the Warden Walk and still have 3 rages left for your main push, which most of the time is too much. So you can even save 1 rage for the slammer on the back end. So let's take a look at what I'm doing exactly. The goal is for this army is to take out the scatter shot, and then I want to get into the base. What I'm doing is I'm placing the king and the witches at the bottom to funnel everything in. The warden is supposed to go into our main push, obviously, and then we have the witches and the king going around the bottom of the base and clearing everything around there. Meanwhile, our push is going strong in the core, hopefully, and that's the idea. That's the idea. So let's take a look on how it works, because you guys saw it in the beginning. The time was really close, so not 100% sure if that's going to be a triple. The cannon is down, which means this is going to force all of our Yetis and bowlers into the core. But the big issue for us right now is that I dropped the Yetis too late, which means this the ground expo locked onto our warden, which means the healers are not switching. This is one of the key things. And right here, we should pause it again, because what is the usage of the loons? I said in the beginning, those guys are using 5 loons normally, and they're not using them for the back end to support the slammer. No, they're using them for the main push. But what is the reason for that? Why do they use that many loons into a ground push? The reason for that is one of the easiest way on how to counter any Yeti or P.E.K.K.A smash attack is pretty simple. Stack black mines to get rid of the healers, which means the Yetis and all of the troops will die because they have no healing on them, and this means it's the easy defense. But with having 5 loons getting raged into the main push and even using the warden ability on them, there's no chance that any of the healers will die, and this is crucial for this one. Warden ability to save a couple of Yetis in the core, but like I said, so far the healers did not switch over, which means it's a super bad attack for us. Most of the things went wrong, which are like kind of beginner mistakes if you're considering yourself really good at any Yeti or P.E.K.K.A smash attacks. So let's see how the rest of this attack turns out and whether we can save it, because we're using already the Royal Champion at the bottom to make sure that we're saving the witches, so the witches can actually clear up or clean up behind the Royal Champion. Meanwhile, our queen is going through the wall. And now we're supporting everything with our slammer. This means the next step is to get basically the back end. We're still having 1 freeze and 1 rage left, and most of the time I like to bring loons in the slammer, and I bring 1 baby dragon most of the time as well. On this one, since this was a war attack and I knew what to expect, I brought only loons, which means the loons, or those loons, they should do work on all of the backhand. We're using the rage, everything is looking good. Inferno Tower is getting taken out, Wizard Tower is getting taken out. Do we get the mortar, and we're getting the air defense as well? That's nice. So, Queen is still going strong. We have a couple of witches left. Loons are still going strong. They should take out the Tesla as well, which means we can place our minion over there. And that's all about it. This strategy is on the back end so strong that it's normally always at least 80+%, which means even on maxed out basis, this strategy is crazy. It's really hard to miss out on the second star most of the time. I know I jinxed already myself with going into the stream today, but most of the time you're not missing out on the second star because you have the Slammer and the Royal Champion on your back end. This together makes this army not only the best pushing army, but once again a really strong option for any war attacks as well. So let's take a look at me using this army in Legend Attack, my first couple of attacks with this new army, and let's see how we're doing, because, well, the Legend day before those attacks were not too great. So let's take a look at this one. This is going to be a ring base. Like I said, we always can save the second star with using our Slammer and obviously our Royal Champion. But what is the beginning? Once again, the beginning on ring bases, most of the time you want to somehow get this ring broken. You want to at some point get the ring open, which is kind of like an easy way to do it with the Warden Walk. And then the next thing is you want to get your troops going around the ring and at some point jumping in, or I don't know, like trying to funnel them somehow. For me, I just let them walk, and then at some point where I think, okay, that might be a good option to jump them in, just jump them in. So let's take a look at how this works. And the nice thing about this army, in my opinion, and why it's that strong in Legend League, it's that you have so much, you can put so much creativity in there. Because, for example, with the Yeti and P.E.K.K.A Smash Attack, which I showed you guys a couple of, I think, weeks now ago, with the 4 Earthquakes and the jump spell, the big issue for this attack is that you cannot afford any rages most of the time for the Warden. For this one, for this army, you can use sometimes even two rages for your Warden. It doesn't matter, like it's super easy to use because you have so many rages. Like 4 rages, that's crazy. Like just consider placing 4 rages back to back to back. That's already the entire base, kinda. So it's super crazy. You can have so many rages, you have so many options to use your Warden on because you can always save him with the rage. And now, the first big mistake, the loons are too late. The bowlers are walking on the outside. So far this attack is, once again, like I said, I'm not a pro at this point. But like I said, the loons are too late, bowlers on the outside, so this is not looking too good. But once again, it's all about the finish with this army. It's like, somehow there's always power left to finish the base. So let's see how this goes. First off, a couple of more Black Mites are getting triggered by the loons, which is always nice. We place the jump spell, and because I feel like in this corner, most of the time, some troops are jumping inside. That's how I feel like about this corner over there. It's most of the time the same, and especially with having bowlers and the witches on the outside clearing all of the trash. Now we have the first thing coming in, the Slammer. Like I said, we have 2 options. First, the Slammer. Second of all, the Royal Champion. Now we're putting in the Slammer. We should have frozen the Single Inferno Tower, but we completely missed that. Now the loons are coming out, and we have a Baby Dragon in there to get rid of the Single Inferno Tower. Now we can use the Royal Champion to take out the town hall. We have still 1 freeze left to make sure that we're getting the town hall down. Queen, meanwhile, still alive. We are freezing the town hall to make sure that we're not having to use our own Queen ability. And now we still have a couple of bowlers on the outside. Since we're bringing Warbreakers with this army, it's super easy to warbreak a couple of single walls, especially if you're saving a couple of them, and this means I can force them once again back inside with those warbreakers. Nicely done. Now obviously the Royal Champion ability to clear the rest of the space, and this is going to be another triple for us and the first triple for us in Legend League. Like I said, the power of this attack on the last couple of seconds on the base is crazy. If you like, sometimes you consider, okay, this is going to be a 1-star, easy fail, like no matter what. Not always. So let's take a look at the next base, and this is going to be from Stephanie. I want to throw something out there so you guys have to, you can take your own opinion on that. So let's think about this. This Stephanie is somehow in the top 10. This Stephanie is in a really strange clan. This Stephanie is in a clan with 3 hearts. This clan is always getting created a couple of minutes before a legend day is closing. Which means up to 3 to 4 Stephanie accounts are in the beginning of every single day in this clan. And after the matches starts to happen, which means in the beginning of the legend day, this clan is getting deleted again. Those accounts are getting back into the main clan, and everything is in the beginning. The thing is, the point is that those screenshots of the bases are getting taken in the beginning of the Legend League day, which means you can see the hearts in the clan name of Stephanie. Which means all of the accounts which are attacking this account know, okay, this is one of the top 4 accounts which need to be pushed. Just throwing this out there, get your own opinion on that, because it's up to you guys, but to me, this is strange. Either way, this was one of the top 10 accounts of Stephanie. Let's see if we can triple that base. The idea is, once again, starting off with the Warden Walk, starting off with the funnel, and then getting everything in there. Now we're switching over to a ram. Like I said, the possibility and the creativity on this attack is really high, which means it's not as easy to learn, because sometimes it's better to use a slammer, sometimes it's better to use a ram. It's totally up to the base and up to you as an attacker. But for me, there are 3 walls which I want to get to the town hall and then jump the back end. That was the idea. So this means we need to somehow get into the town hall first if you want to have the back end jump, because we're using only 1 jump in this army, and we couldn't reach everything with only the wall breakers. On this on this attack, I'm already swagging my witches basically, because I completely forgot that this is a multi-inferno tower. Normally this is a single inferno tower, which would have been way better for me. But either way, the ram is coming in, ram is opening up everything. Once again, the loons are triggering all of the traps. I have loons in my ram as well, which means even more black mines are getting triggered. Which means so far, none of my healers died yet. Which means all of my healers are still alive, and even if they do not switch, this means once again we have a nice queen charge in the end going either way. So far, once again, the attack isn't looking too good, if I'm completely honest. Most of the boulders died, all of the Yetis died now, and this means this is not only 50%, only my healers are alive, and that's it. But the point is that we're still having so many rages and so many healers left that I can have a queen charge from now on with having my royal champion working around my queen. This, in addition to having just so many healers, it's just crazy. So the next thing is we have to use the queen ability, obviously, get rid of the next couple of defenses, royal champion ability, and this means this is going to be a triple, even though the beginning looked really messed up with the witches getting put into the multi-inferno tower, etc. So this is how this strategy works. It's crazy strong, even if something is going wrong, and even if you're failing the attack, most of the time it's a really good percent, which means this is one of the best pushing armies which are out there, and this is the reason why most of the top 10 guys in Legend League are using this army. So if you guys want to use it on your own, give it a try, let me guys know how this works for you guys, and I will see you guys today in the live stream or tomorrow in the next video.